Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video, and as you saw in that opening clip there, I finally have it on video, the issue that I've been plagued with pretty much since I bought this wheel. Now this is something that I have bleated on about pretty much in every video since I did my initial review of my wheel, but as I said, part of the reason that I'm making these videos is to kind of talk to you guys through my process and my kind of experience with Fanatec and any of these sim racing products I'm going to be buying now and in the future, and kind of giving you guys total clarity on the situation and my experience with the product. So what does that mean now? Well, I have sent this clip to Fanatec and they've now told me to send the wheel back to them. Now this is a clip I did post to Facebook last week before I was making this video, and a few people have said they had the same issue. They sent the wheel back and it was something to do with the wiring, and they got a new product or a new piece of wiring attached, or it was fixed and sent back to them, and they've had no problem since. So I'm hoping it's something as simple as that. I'm terrified that they're going to turn around and go, there's nothing wrong with this wheel, send it back to me, and I'm just stuck with the same issue, because it's definitely not a driver issue, because I've tried now about 7 different drivers, different combinations, installing, reinstalling, kind of resetting the whole thing. I've gone through every possible combination and option. So where does that leave me now? Well, of course, I have been in communication with Fanatec since the issue first arose, so probably over 3 weeks now. And the problem with Fanatec is they're a very small company, and I think suddenly, very recently, with all this COVID and lockdown and the boom of sim racing, they found they have a lot more sales going on. And they're dealing with the sales okay, well, some might disagree with that, but they're not dealing with their customer support as well. They're a small firm who suddenly found themselves overwhelmed with a lot of more customers than they would probably usually expect. At the moment, it's taking nearly a week for them to get back to me on every query, which means my latest query is actually almost irrelevant by the time they get back to me, because once I tried all these different drivers, it hadn't worked. I sent them this clip. They then said, right, okay, so you need to send it back to us. We're going to give you a tracking number and some information. Tell us when is best to come and collect this wheel. Now this was nearly a week ago, so I said to them, well, this Monday and Tuesday, I'm in all day. You can come either of those days whenever you like, whichever is easiest for you to collect it. I got an automatic response saying we'll be back in touch within 7 days, and I've still not heard from them. And tomorrow is Monday, so I'm assuming it's not getting collected then, and probably not Tuesday either. So then they're going to get back to me and ask me for another date, and then what? It's going to be another 7 days before I hear from them again. So it's a kind of very difficult cycle. So I'm assuming they're going to ask for another date, in which I'm probably now going to have to pick a date in 2 weeks' time, just to be sure I hear back from them in time to actually confirm they can collect it. So it's a very, very slow process at the moment. Luckily, it isn't going back to Germany, which would slow things down even further. Apparently, they actually have some kind of technical office in the UK which are going to examine it, check it for issues, make any repairs if necessary. I mean, some people here would argue that I shouldn't have to be waiting for a repair. This is a brand new product I've had for only a few weeks. I should just be getting an immediate replacement. Having to send off this item for repair is something you might expect when you've had something for over a year or so, not when it's brand new. This isn't an issue I've caused. It came quite clearly damaged. I should maybe possibly just be getting an outright replacement rather than having a damaged product fixed and made good. But you know, at the moment, anything that works will hopefully do. But it's a pretty frustrating process. You know, you speak to them, it takes a long time for them to get back to you, and I do understand, of course, they have a lot of people to deal with, but if they're having a lot more demand, they need to try and match that with customer service. They need to either employ more people, improve their system, because at the moment it is a little bit frustrating. So the next question I should probably answer is, would I still advise buying this product? Is it something I would still suggest people to upgrade from something like a Logitech or even a Thrustmaster? And at the moment my answer is still yes. I just think I've been unlucky with the product I've got, and there has been some kind of fault with it, but I must admit, when it's actually working, and I do have to caveat that, when it's working, it is a fantastic experience. Now you will see in this gameplay when that issue actually happens, all I have to do is pause the game and go to my control bindings and just rebind them to be the new buttons, because obviously it actually thinks I have the podium shifters, so I can very quickly pause the game and correct it, which you see me do here. And that's fine in an offline race. I'm just playing offline here, I can pause the game at any time. The issue really occurs when you're playing online, when, especially on games like Assetto Corsa Competizione, you can't pause the game while you're racing around, you have to come to a complete stop. The other day I was in a race and I was in second place. In a 30-minute race, I was in second place, everyone else was quite far behind. Pretty happy that I was going to take second place. Went over a curb a little bit too hard on Silverstone, on Maggots and Beckett. No crash, no spin out, just bumped up the curb a little bit, and that was enough to stop it from working. I had to come to a complete stop at the side of the track, scrambled to the control settings, quickly change it to re-add the shifters to the new podium buttons that it thinks are now attached to my steering wheel, and continue the race. At that point, I was luckily I only lost one position. I was down to third, and I did finish the race in third place. So still a podium finish, but very, very frustrating when you've taken second place for the majority of the race and you lose that position down to equipment not working. So as you can see here now, this is when the issue occurred. I hit that curb too hard there, which unsettled the car. I start to bounce around a bit, and I just bump over this little bit of curb here. I don't actually hit anything. The steering wheel doesn't physically go mental. And as you can see now, the paddles are no longer working. So I have to pause the game, go into the menu, change them to the new settings, rebind them, and I can continue the race. So in this situation, it's a little minor inconvenience. It is very frustrating. It shouldn't be happening at all, but you can continue playing. And once it has happened, it can't happen again. So if you're playing for a few hours and this happens in the first 10 minutes, as long as you don't reset your wheel, you won't have the issue again. So after it's happened, I could easily go online and not worry about the issue happening. But it can happen at any time. It could happen 5 minutes in, 2 hours in. When I actually first upgraded to the new 372 drivers, it didn't happen for about 12 hours, and I was actually thinking, this may have fixed it. And then the next morning, within 5 minutes of loading up, it happened straight away. So it is very, very frustrating, and it's clearly something that is bugging other people, because when I put this video on Facebook, it's something that other people are having an issue with. So I'm hoping Fanatec can get back to me rather soon and we can get this picked up and get it sorted. I'm hoping it's a simple fix like somebody spoke to me on Facebook about, and it is just about replacing some hardware inside the wheel and the issue should go away. But at the moment, I'm a little bit skeptical, and it is frustrating that I'm not being offered a new product when I've only had this for 3 weeks. But that's all for today, guys. I just wanted to kind of keep you up to date with the situation. I think this is something a lot of people are interested in, because there's a lot of people who are watching this video or watching my videos who seem to be keen on upgrading to Fanatec. I had a lot of people coming to this channel with my reviews of the Logitech wheel, and I've got a lot of people now wanting to see what it's like taking the step to the next piece of equipment kind of on the sim market, which for a lot of people is going from Logitech up to Fanatec. And with that said, there's been a lot of new subscribers to the channel. I think we're nearly at 70, 80 subscribers now, which is quite funny since I don't really upload that much content on here. So I am very appreciative of anyone who is subscribing. And if you do have anything in mind you'd like to see on the channel, I was thinking about maybe starting to do some live videos where I'm kind of commentating as I'm racing, which is something I'd prefer to do once the wheel is fixed, because one of those videos would be pretty much ruined if halfway through I had to stop everything and try and fix the wheel again. So if that is something you'd like to see on the channel once I have a new wheel, tell me down in the comments below. If there's anything else you'd like to see in particular, leave those down below as well. And of course, if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.